Yeah? What's up, Vin? What you doing? You want your mousey? I'll get you your mousey before I start. I've never made a pet costume before. Our previous two cats. Oop, there he goes. Our previous two cats were very adverse to anything being on them at any given time. They didn't like collars, they didn't like harnesses, certainly, I mean, we never even tried, you know, costume type stuff, never like little hats or little like bodysuits, little sweaters like some people do, like they wouldn't have flown. I bought this purple for No Face. Most of the supplies is left over from No Face, the fosshape and this both of these paints, for purple and white. And I decided to do the purple because I didn't want it to be as flat as the plain black was. That's something I realized that I've like kind of forgotten about, not necessarily messed up, but kind of forgotten about when trying to like paint and make props in the past. Doing shading does a lot of work on it. Like, it changes the way things look so drastically, it makes them look so much better, that I definitely wanted to make sure that these had that. I want them to look nice on him, you know? And that's just with one coat. I'm gonna do another on the front, but definitely need to get the back so the white stops showing through. I had to do black on the edges. That was dumb. Oh well, live and learn. I'm also trying not to get anything on my clothes right now because I was a fool and didn't put a smock on. And I've done about 3 coats of the paint on both sides. I think they look pretty good. I don't think it needs much more. I don't want too much. I'm just gonna safety pin. I'm gonna hot glue safety pin right here, and I'll pin them onto his harness that he wears when we go on walks, and those are done then. So I wanted my bat wings to look like one of those 19-teens, 1920s old Halloween costumes that you see in the old drawings and fashion plates, and I decided that I was just going to freehand the whole thing because I was not about to look for a pattern that would match one of those. So after drawing the whole thing out and cutting it out with Vinny's help, I went on to finishing all of the edges and figuring out how I wanted the neck to attach. I'd finally decided on a pair of simple black ribbons that I would sew to the edges and then just tie in a bow in the front. Nothing too fancy, no hooks, no closures, or anything like that. Vinny was eager to help with every step of the process, although he's not always the most helpful. I also wanted the wings to be able to move with my arms like bat wings would, so I decided to attach wrist straps that would snap in place so that I would not have to hold onto the edges of the cape if I wanted it to be fully spread out. It would just move with my arms. Are you in my cape? Are you in my cape? After finishing the base of the cape, I had to decide how I wanted to embellish mine. It wasn't going to match Vinny's, I didn't want to paint the cape, but I did have to decide, did I want to embroider it? Did I want to add ribbons? Did I want to do some other kind of decoration? Did I want it to be one-sided or two-sided? The most work of all of these would be embroidery and making something double-sided, so of course I chose to do both of those things. Using the pieces I had already pinned on as a guide, I drew chalk strips again in the lines where I wanted the ribbing to be, and I decided to use a dark purple embroidery thread to mark out those ribs before then sewing down the white ribbon on the other side. So one side you got the ribbon and one side you have the embroidery. Yeah, I'm kind of done with this already. It's fine. I just gotta sew one more piece on and then technically it is done. Then I have to do the hood. I was gonna make a hood. Oh no. Well, we'll cross that bridge when I finish this next. So the cape is done. Took 3 days, not 1. Right, Vin? That's okay. Now I just need to make the little bat hood. and I do kind of have a pattern to follow for it. Anyone remember this from the Prompto video? I have had this since I was in preschool, and obviously I'm going to size it up a little bit, but I am going to use the way it's constructed, because I mean, it is a hood. Honestly, the head part still fits really well. It's the face that's a little small now, but you know, imagine this, but just black and with bat ears instead of a beak and feathers. It's a little difficult to tie. I should have made both the ties a little bit longer. There we go. In the words of What We Do in the Shadows, that! Vinny.
We've been looking at the wings for a few weeks now. You put them on? I can't get to your stomach.
After he ate all that salmon,
It
might not fit him.
It might not fit. Squish. There we go. You're spooky. Look at you. My little gargoyle kitty. Little bat boy. Come here. We match.